While I was away on a work trip, my parents sold the home I'd always dreamed of, just to pay for my brother's lavish vacation. You think you know people, right? You think you know family? Well, let me tell you, I learned the hard way that some betrayals cut deeper than any stranger ever could. I'm talking about having your entire life, every drop of sweat and every single dollar, snatched away by the very people you trusted most. And it all started with a phone call that shattered my world. My name is Garrett Miller, and at 34, I built a life that felt truly my own. I'm an international marketing consultant, and I've been independent since I was 18, when I left my middle-class home in Pasadena, California, determined to make my own way. I'm not one to dwell on the past, but to understand this story, you need to know what it was like growing up in a family where love always seemed to tilt in one direction. My parents, Robert and Linda Miller, lived what outsiders would call an ordinary, stable life. A small house with a white picket fence, a minivan, my dad working at a bank, my mom as a freelance accountant. But inside that house, things were anything but stable. I have a younger brother, Brian, 4 years my junior, and from a young age, I could feel the stark difference in how my parents treated us. Brian was their golden boy, their fragile, misunderstood genius. He was lazy, never able to hold a job for more than 6 months. But my parents? They always sheltered him, always made excuses. Brian's still finding his way, my mother would sigh, even when he quit his 5th job because his boss just didn't understand him. Meanwhile, I was paying my own way through college, juggling 3 jobs at once, waiting tables, delivering packages, working as an office assistant, just so I could graduate debt-free. And I didn't resent it. I believed my hard work would pay off, and I had one person who always believed in me, my grandfather, Norman. My grandfather was my rock during those tough years. A tough man who worked in construction, with rough, calloused hands but the warmest heart. He'd sit with me on the porch, telling stories of his youth, how he built his life from nothing. Your strength is your true asset, he'd say in his deep, steady voice. Money, houses, cars, they're just tools. But your will, Garrett, that's something no one can ever take away. Those words etched themselves into my mind, a small flame guiding me through the exhausting days. When he passed away, I was 18. He left me a trust fund, a sum of money I could only access partially at 25, provided I proved myself worthy. And I did. After 7 relentless years, I used part of that trust to make a down payment on an old craftsman house in the suburbs of Pasadena. It wasn't a mansion, nothing flashy, but to me, it was everything. That house was my dream. A single-story wooden home with a wide porch, stained glass windows, and a small backyard garden. It was old and needed repairs, but I loved every crack in the hardwood floors, every chipped brick in the fireplace. I spent months fixing it up myself, sanding the floors, repainting the walls, replacing window panes. I planted a rose garden in the backyard, vibrant red, to honor my grandmother, who loved roses more than anything. Every time I stood in that garden, breathing in the full story video added in below,